EDG once again scaling across the board here. It's something that we'll have to see if it can work out for them. Game number 2, they managed to hold on long enough, but game number 1, Top Esports picked up the pace 2 down quickly for them. Knight Syndra versus Scout Zoe. This is going to be an absolute banger in the mid lane. Talk about how these teams have played all split long. We've seen EDG being this kind of late game team that want to scale up, they want to go for the team fights. They want to play in the late game. Top Esports have been win lane, win game. They've been all about the snowball. And when you look at the two teams statistically across the course of this series so far, when you look at Top Esports, their lane stats, their kills at 15 minutes, kills per minute, and their average game time are all top 3 in the league. But over on the side of Edward Gaming, when it comes to their kill participation, they are 3rd in the league. This is a team that plays as a team, and Scout doesn't have his team around him right now. Knight gonna flash forward for the solo kill in the mid lane.
Well, there we go. Maybe the problem for TES on Knight was to have him off of Orianna. The Syndra already getting that solo kill. I did not expect that. He had no mana. I figured that it was nothing that was really going to be done for it. But you know what? Knight knows this champion well. Picking up that solo kill into Scout, saying, you know what? You might have this matchup that's supposed to win out, but if I can play this perfectly, get the Scout of the week, there's not really much you can do, and Scout just flashed a bit too late, and unfortunately was taking a bit too much damage from the minion, so it's a little bit of a bummer to see for Scout. The birthday boy, unfortunately, having to TP back into lane, having a disadvantage now into Knight. He's going to be able to control this lane, and the lane that they were supposed to be able to use to be able to fight back against TES, to be able to utilize for a disengage on these skirmishes that are going to happen topside, not going to be the thing they can fall back to anymore.
It has felt like Knight was not really performing in this series. Getting a solo kill there brings so much more confidence for them, and now a Scat of the Week. Cast is here as well. The CC chain, and there's no flash available. Scout's gonna go down again, and Knight is now 2-0.
And look at where we see the pathing coming in from Karsa. Sure, they lose out on the dragon, but that's not the important thing. It's about keeping the top half of the map in control in the way where TES can continue to play dominant, continue to look for these early skirmishes. And now that Scout has that 2-0 lead mid lane, you have full reign of anything on this top quadrant of the map.
And you know what? They want to keep this ball rolling. This is classic Top Esports. Playing towards 369 is the bread and butter for Top Esports. And now they go under the tower. 369 will be happy to tank this one up as he pulls him in. Flash comes out from Flandre, but he can't survive this one. 369 walks away. It's a perfect dive from Top Esports. EDG now in Game 3 after an amazing Game 2. They draft a late game comp once again, and they're starting to fall dramatically behind in this early game. They've got to shore up these weaknesses, but Dwo won't let them as he goes in the bottom side. Mako the target here as he's burning down to the Ignite. Flash away as Karsa comes into the lane, but he's locked up himself, and this is a 2v3. Viper stacking up the shuriken. He looks for more as well. Viper wanting to prove himself as the best AD carry in the league, but he's knocked away, and Jackie Love now will survive, but Mako finds the hook. Cleanse comes on in. Mako wants to make the dive happen. Turret shot comes in. Scout wants a bit of redemption. He's got a rocket belt that he's stolen from a minion, but he can't find the way in.
Either way, it doesn't matter. 2v3, Viper, Mako, make out like bandits, finding the turnaround necessary to force away Jacula, force away Zwo. They now get all these plates that they're probably going to be able to get at least 2 of them for themselves and have a massive lead and a side in a lane that is supposed to be weak side.
Unbelievable play from Viper and Mako, making a statement for themselves as well. And this is why we never see teams making plays against an Aphelios that has the red weapon and the white weapon. It's too scary of a combo. You just can't ever kill him.
It's so difficult to be able to stick on top of him, to be able to kill him, and I mentioned that before. That's why it's so hard to be able to even gank him. And now top lane looks like another dive attempted.
Yeah, this one, another clean dive from Top Esports, and they're just going to slam a Herald. They're like, you know what? Sod it. We're never going bot again. Jackie Love, Dro, you're on your own on the bottom side. We're just going to win top side of the map instead. Jackie Love suddenly realizing that he's very alone in the world. Had his flash, but there's no point at that stage. He's doomed. And you can see him shifting in his chair a little bit there. 2 kills now for Viper. The tower goes down top.
369. He's looking for a flank.
He's looking for it, but JJ will be able to deny that one. Top Esports move in for this Herald. JJ just going to be forced away. Face breaker comes in, the Haymaker as well. JJ gets over towards the rest of his team, but actually they can contest this one. One ult kind of goes wide a little bit here. Herald resets. EDG have bought time though. They can just sprint it mid and then sprint it to Dragon. This is a great trade across the board for EDG because they have the inside track on the mid lane tower. Drake coming up in 15 seconds. Below where 369 is. Top Esports, they want to go towards an inhib. Wait. They forgot the Herald. Nobody picked up the Herald.
Wait a minute. Gotta go get the eye. Go back to get the eye.
Guys.
Oh, I think maybe. Okay, there we go. You can see right now, Carson's like, oh, I forgot something. Gotta go grab the eye, get that. But this delays any type of contest that they could have had around this Ocean Dragon while they still are trying to see if they can rotate in time. It's just whoa at the moment. It's gonna be some time before the other members of Top Esports are there.
Oh, he's knocked him out of the pit. He's knocked JJ out of the pit. Whoa, you absolute legend. He's going to be able to get in, gets the smite and gets out on the Dark Express, the Dark Lantern, whatever it's called. Doesn't matter. Beautiful from Dro. Doesn't matter. Forces the flash out of JJ. And the Dragon still goes to EDG.
So now I want to see how TES are going to be able to use this advantage of knowing JJ's flash is down. Having to burn that just to be able to get the objective that they had started that entire time. I want to see them do exactly as they're doing. Forcing the play to take over control of JJ's jungle, and even forcing out Ragnarok. Another cooldown that Dro is able to take away from him.
Yeah, no flash, no Ragnarok. JJ will not exist if a fight happens in the next couple of minutes' time here. And Top Esports know that, so they will just force themselves into this bottom lane. On towards Flandre they go, and you know, Bellows Breath will block 1 stun, but when there's 17 stuns coming your way, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Flandre, you don't get to play League of Legends today.
That's the 3rd time we've seen poor Flandre get ganked like that underneath the turret. You think as Ornn, you're nice and tanky, you're going to be able to survive things, but as you mentioned, you can only get away from CC 1 time. You're not going to be able to get through it multiple times, and especially not when you have Knight 3, 0, and 2 on this Syndra. Has a massive amount of burst potential that as Flandre right now, he's so far behind, he's only been able to get that Turbo Chem thing. He's not nearly tanky enough to be the meatball they need. Into what I want to see from EDG to be able to try to get themselves in a position to be able to fight back. They still have scaling options, right? You have Viper, he's your carry. He's doing fantastic so far, but the other members are struggling. Scout so far, not in the greatest position. Even with the damage on Duo and popping the Unchained, it's not really the most important thing. You need to be able to get some gold into the pockets of this Zoe. Flandre, not so much. You need the Zoe to be the menace, to be someone who's scary enough in these team fights that if there's a flank potentially, if you're able to get enough poke, you're going to be able to kill people. Bye, Flandre.
Flandre, no, not again. He does not get to do anything. Another kill on Flandre taken by Top Esports. This is the thing, when you play something like an Ornn into a team like Top Esports, they're just going to bully you time and time again on Aphelios. He's scaling up. He's already got 2 items for himself, looking towards an Infinity Edge next. If he can grab that Infinity Edge before the next Drake, that's when EDG can really start to push themselves. Actually, we've got 369 on a flank, pulling everybody in. Can they turn this into more of a fight, though? Because not much damage done just yet. There's 369 in trouble, but there's one going down. It's a pick onto Mako. Moonlight Vigil not really doing all or too much. It's only a pick for Top Esports, but a pick is better than naught. Knight just about dodges the ball.
Just about dodges it. I like that play from 369. I was going to say this. I almost wish that Viper had at least a QSS, because what 369 wants to do is constantly stay on top of Viper. Since if you look at where the gold is right now between the two teams, there's a 3,000 gold lead for Top Esports, right? But there's still a lot of gold into Viper. And that is what is making this gold lead not nearly as severe as you'd expect for EDG. But if you kill Viper, the one that has a gold edge over Jackie Love, well, now suddenly they've got nothing left that they can use to be able to fight against you.
CS though. Look at Viper's CS right now. He's on almost 300 CS at 24 3/4 minutes. Someone needs to start one of those doing B copy pastas, except replace it with Viper, because this guy is an absolute monster on the CS right here, this game. And when we get to these team fights, look, he is a he's a full Infinity Edge basically ahead of Jackie. That is an unbelievable lead. The Top Esports need to do something about it. So it looks like the answer is start Baron.
Start Baron, or are they gonna bait it? That's the big question. We know how Top Esports are. It seems like they're fully committing for it.
Unless EDG can stop them. In they go. JJ once again, the one that has to face check here. Scout of the week goes in. Joel holding the trigger for now. Not willing to go in until he has a better knock-up. Scout goes in as well. Baron is going to be taking it. Top Esports get this one for themselves. Is it going to be the team fight though? Top Esports could just opt out. They don't need the team fight. Once again, they get themselves the Baron.
Free Baron. Great scatter of the weeks, forcing out an early Ragnarok, and since with Ragnarok on cooldown, that means no more resistances for JJ. He barely lives, but because he limped out of the fight, he couldn't try to see if he can smite fight that one. Don't need to have a full team fight for Top Esports if the people that would normally try to fight you are nearly dead. Now you're within Ocean Soul Point. You've got Baron on the side of Top Esports. They are in a perfect position to play this one slow and methodical to win the game. Will they do that? Oh, it's TES. We know how they play. They like to play fast and loose. They like to try to see if they can press their advantage as much as humanly possible. So I'm expecting the exact opposite of what they're going to do. They are going to look for some sort of play. They've got 369 already with the Guardian's Angel completed, and the only real target to be in mind for him has got to be Viper, who just finally got that QSS.
Viper has the QSS. Can he survive these fights? Scout has been a non-factor in this game so far. Had a really rough laning phase with Knight grabbing a solo kill. Now JJ forced to flash out of the jungle as well. Carl's happy to just be a brick wall on the front line. Knight flashes the Moonlight Vigil. It was a close one with 369. Is 2v1ing on the back line. There's nothing Scout can do but flash away. Haymaker in onto the team. It's actually going to be Duo pulled in and taken down. 4v5 now as Mako looks for more, but the hook goes wide. Top Esports walk away with 4 men.
What did I say? They could play it passively. They could play it calm. But we knew TES was not going to play passively nor calm. They were going to look for those fights and look for those plays, and it got punished. Duo tried so hard to be able to make it so they could pick apart the backline. They thought they had the pick onto Scout. They unfortunately didn't realize that Zoe only has to go into stasis and the rest of them can fight back. They even got the flash out of Knight. Knight nearly died in that fight, so you didn't even have this Syndra with her advantage to be able to exert that into the backline onto Viper.
So now we kind of reset on the map here because neither big neutral objective is up for the next couple of minutes. So it should mean that things quiet down at least a little bit, but this is Top Esports we're talking about, so it's a very real possibility that doesn't happen. 3 items on both AD carries. It's a good stun there onto Mako, but Knight could be in trouble. He doesn't have flash for himself, and the rest of the team needs to get in and protect him. It's going to be Carcer to go down, starting the fight. In goes 369 onto 5, but the rest of the team's not here. In comes Dracula with the bomb onto everyone. Do they have the damage finish skills? The answer is yes, as down goes Viper, and Jackie Love has his moment in the sun. It's time to shine, baby, as he grabs himself too. Scout the last man standing, but Top Esports blow this game open.
And that's the thing. 369 369 said, you know what? I feel like we can fight this one. Had that angle to be able to jump into the backline, and it seemed disastrous. It seemed like it was all doom and gloom because 369 was all by himself, but he is so damn tanky. There's no way to be able to kill him fast enough, especially when you have a shield like that Haymaker shield he got, and it looks like they're just gonna go for the end.
If there's any team that'll do it, it's Top Esports. They brute force finish the game right here. EDG are respawning. Can they defend Top Esports? On to the Nexus as EDG run out of the fountain, but there's too little and too late. Top Esports take the series 2-1.
And that's what you expect from Top Esports, isn't it? They always go for those aggressive plays where it seems like there's no reason to keep fighting. There's no reason that they need to dive by themselves into the backline, but nobody could kill 369. They had so much pressure that came from the top side of the map. 369 was so far ahead of Flandre and was able to build much more tanky to be able to win out at every advantage.